It's a dream come true.
Operators are standing by. Just call 808-731-1403. 808-731-1403. That's 808-731-1403.
Catch Island Sports with Cody Krupp. Weekends on KITV4.
Because we've got James Marsden, Christina Hendricks, and Kid Venter triplets. Yeah, that's right. 3 of them. We want to thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for being in our studio. We'll see you guys then. Bye.
Developing news from overnight. A mother and her child are dead following a crash in the Hauula area. More on the deadly incident on Kamehameha Highway. And more than 1,100 people around the world have died because of the coronavirus, only 2 of them outside China. We'll tell you how many people remain monitored here locally.
Now, from Honolulu, for all of Hawaii, this is KITV4 Island News Midday.
Aloha and mahalo for tuning in to KITV4 Island News Midday on this Wednesday, February 12th. I'm Lindsey Fukano. We do begin now with developing news from overnight as a mother and her child are dead following a crash in the Hauula area. According to Honolulu police, a 31-year-old driver going southbound hit a car in the opposite direction on Kamehameha Highway last night. That driver and her child were pronounced dead at the scene. The other driver and passenger involved were sent to the hospital in serious condition. One person who lives in the area says he would like to see improvements made to the roadway.
Maybe more shoulder areas where people can pull over if something's wrong, more lighting, maybe more signs. Anything will help, really.
And we are working to find out if drugs or alcohol were contributing factors in the crash. This was the 7th and 8th traffic fatality of 2020. More than 1,100 people around the world have died because of the coronavirus, only 2 of them outside of China. Locally, the Department of Health confirmed 36 people are being monitored, and the Associated Press is reporting that the U.S. Postal Service is experiencing significant difficulties with shipping mail to China and Hong Kong, all due to reduction in flights. The union representing postal workers told AP their members were advised the Postal Service would no longer accept mail coming through the U.S. headed for China until, quote, sufficient transport capacity becomes available. The Postal Service says this change does not affect letters and packages that are sent from the U.S., but there is no longer a guarantee that priority mail will be delivered on time in China and Hong Kong. Chinese news outlets say that the coronavirus has many workers staying home, reducing the ability to handle and deliver the mail. In San Diego, another American was diagnosed with coronavirus. This is the 13th confirmed case in the U.S. The adult man, it was tested positive while undergoing testing, and hospital officials say the patient in question passed initial tests and didn't appear to have the virus.
It turns out there was probably a mix-up, and the original test wasn't negative, but there's been a new test collected in order to understand whether the person is still symptomatic. So there was a little bit of a mix-up there.
That patient has since returned to the hospital and is reportedly doing well. Big wave surfer Alex Botelho was rushed to the hospital after being repeatedly caught up in massive swells in Portugal. Botelho hit the wave after being wiped out by a big wave during a competition off the coast of Nazaré. His teammate Hugo Vau went out on a jet ski to rescue him, but on the way back to the beach, the pair were hit by another massive wave. The power of that swell tossed the jet ski into the air, and both men disappeared underneath the surf. Val escaped the pounding unhurt, but Botelho was pulled unconscious from the waters and was rushed to the hospital. The World Surf League has said his condition stabilized, but he would remain in the hospital for evaluation. And we'll turn now to our local conditions here. Taking a look at Hilo Bay right now, our Tasia Worley's in with a look at today's forecast. Tasia.
Sunny conditions with breezy skies for Hilo, Hawaii pretty much all morning into our midday. Just a few passing clouds and showers for our South Point. And as we zoom in just a bit closer, Mahalo Dana Carey for this island pick. Looking beautiful out there. Sun, surf, and snow today over on the Big Island. So we're going to continue to see some sunny skies for a majority of this Wednesday. Some passing showers later on this evening. Maui County, we have a few isolated showers for Ulupalakua. Hana District also settling down compared to this morning. For our Oahu, just about half an hour ago, we had a heavy batch of moisture over the Punalu'u area. So just a heads up for some slick roads on Kamehameha Highway. Other than that, pretty clear conditions with some isolated cloud coverage for the leeward side. And then for Kauai, nice and calm. We've got those trade winds coming in from the east-southeast, about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So that means later on tonight, a few isolated showers for the windward side. Lindsay, to you.
All right, Tasia, thank you. The Democratic presidential horse race is still unsettled one day after the New Hampshire primaries as the candidates move on to battle new political battlefields. ABC's Mona Kosar Abdi is reporting now from New Hampshire.
The Democratic pack of presidential hopefuls moving on.
I think we're going to do just fine in Nevada, very well in South Carolina, and I think we got a real shot on Super Tuesday to win a whole lot of states.
Senator Bernie Sanders hoping his first place finish in New Hampshire propels him to more victories. But Pete Buttigieg close behind in second place, continuing his line of attacks against the frontrunner's self-declared socialist platform.
He's got an approach that says you're either for a revolution or you got to be for the status quo.
Senator Amy Klobuchar celebrating her surge, moving into the top tier with a strong third place finish and seeing a windfall in donations.
We have beaten the odds every step of the way.
Former Vice President Joe Biden, despite a fifth place finish, insisting
the fight to end Donald Trump's presidency is just beginning. Just beginning.
And despite a fourth place finish, Senator Elizabeth Warren vowing to fight on, hoping the lack of a clear frontrunner will give her more time to build support.
We might be headed for another one of those long primary fights that last for months.
And more fallout from the New Hampshire primary. Former Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick calling it quits today. Businessman Andrew Yang and Senator Michael Bennet dropped out of the race after the polls closed yesterday. Mona Kosar Abdi, ABC News, Manchester, New Hampshire.
Well, the Honolulu Rail project is coming to Kaka'ako, and even though construction of the actual rail line is happening by the airport, utility work is ramping up along Queen Street, so rail construction can continue through Kaka'ako. Work will take place each day from 8:30 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday, for various sections of Queen Street and nearby roads along the rail route.
We know that there are demands in construction. We understand that, and that it's possible to let the public know what we're doing and to make accommodations for ingress and egress from the properties that we're working close to.
Whenever they put up the cones and do the one lane or, the contra lanes, it just fouls up all of our road traffic. They can't get into the parking lots.
And once work on the utilities is finished, work on the actual rail columns and train stations will begin. Construction is slated to begin sometime next year. The Honolulu Zoo is reopening its southern ground hornbill and marabou stork exhibits. This comes after they were damaged during high winds a year ago. Here's a look at the renovated exhibits. Hornbills Abby and Martha, along with marabou stork lurch, well, they're all back on display for the public. 14-year-old male ground hornbill Najuma escaped during the storm. He has not been seen recently. If anyone does see him, they are asked to take a picture and contact the zoo. New at midday, a Japanese man was certified as being the world's oldest living person on Earth by the Guinness World Records. Chitetsu Watanabe, aged 112 years old and 344 days. Well, he was born in Japan back on March of 1907, and Guinness awarded Watanabe an honorary certificate. As a young man, he spent time in Taiwan before serving in the military at the end of the Pacific War in 1944. His secret, he says, eating lots of fruits and veggies. Well, still to come on KITV4, Rainbow Drive-In is expanding yet again. The popular plate lunch, the joint's opening up a new location, and we'll tell you where straight ahead on KITV4. Stay with us.
This segment of KITV4 Island News is sponsored by Spectrum.
In a world where every path is unique, we believe the best in digital infrastructure can transform healthcare in places like Cleveland and Honolulu. Dazzle spectators on Broadway and the silver screens of LA. A simple belief that every fiber-lit building fuels the industry in all of us. Let's turn the promise of technology into digital progress together. Spectrum Enterprise.
We fed beef lovers a Whopper with no beef.
Oh, I'm definitely a beef guy.
Well, who doesn't love beef? Turns out these beef lovers love plants too.
I can't tell the difference. No beef at all. Wow.
Try the Impossible Whopper with a patty made from plants. 100% Whopper, 0% beef. Only at Burger King.
You are on top of your game. Your shower, 5 minutes shorter than usual. A feat built on speed, grace, and exfoliation. Today, a personal record. Tomorrow, the world. Bask in the glory of energy efficiency, cleanliness conqueror. You are an energy champion. Go forth and...
What are you doing?
Why? What are you doing?
Be an energy champion. Learn how at hawaiienergy.com/champion.
Pack your bags and be ready to go to Las Vegas instantly with Vacations Hawaii and KITV4 Island News. Enter at KITV.com and watch Good Morning Hawaii to see if you're the winner. Then be ready to go to Vegas with Vacations Hawaii that week. Pack your bags. We go Vegas.
Aloha. 2020 is a very important year for our Pacific people. The time to participate in the census is coming soon.
It will only take you a few minutes to complete the form.
It's safe and confidential.
It guides where public funding goes for things like
hospitals for our people, schools for our children,
fire stations for our communities.
So whether it's your baby's first census
or your 8th census,
it all adds up and helps to shape our future.
Shape our future. Start here. Learn more at 2020census.gov.
This is KITV4 Island News Midday.
Welcome back. Rainbow Drive-In is expanding yet again. The popular plate lunch joint's opening a new location in Eva Beach. And according to their Facebook page, it's scheduled to be up and running in March, making it the 4th restaurant open so far. The original spot's in Kapahulu with previous expansion at Pearl Ridge and in Kalihi. On Maui, the Summit District of Haleakala National Park is closed. Weather conditions and power outages shut down the park on Monday. The National Park Summit says all sunrise reservations are also canceled. The park plans to reopen once conditions improve. Here at KITV4, we want your opinion. Where's the best place to meet friends for lunch in Hawaii? Who is your go-to mechanic? And do you know who the best dentist in Hawaii is? Well, we want to know what you think. Nominate your favorites in the KITV4 Viewers' Choice Awards, and you could win a trip to Las Vegas from Vacations Hawaii. Head to KITV.com/bestof by the end of February to enter. With Valentine's Day ahead, we took a look at the average engagement ring price by the state, which ranges from $3,000 to $10,000. This is all according to diamond retailer Ritani. The average engagement ring bought in Hawaii just over $5,700. That's the 34th highest in the nation. Total household debt balances rose by $601 billion last year, according to the Federal Reserve. Total household debt balances surpassed $14 trillion for the first time. Housing debt now accounts for $9.95 billion of the total balance. Balances for auto loans and credit cards both increased by $57 million for the year. And we'll go back outside now with a live look at the windward side of Oahu. Tasia Worley's in now with a look at today's forecast. Tasia, how are things shaping up?
Pretty beautiful on this Wednesday with our trade winds here about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Later tonight, we'll see an uptick of winds and enhanced showers, especially for the windward side. Here's a look just around 6 o'clock for our Kauai. Temperatures at 76 degrees, the warmest that we've seen it for the past couple of days. In the lower 80s for our town spots, and then clear conditions later tonight for sunset around 6:24. Maui County expecting still yet to see a few isolated showers, especially for Kahului all the way down to McKenna around 4 through 6 o'clock this evening. And then Hawaii Island, Hilo, Hawaii, expecting to get a few showers later on this late afternoon into this evening as well. With our trade winds going up, our east side is also responding to that. Earlier this morning, wave heights 3 to 5. We're right in the middle of this, 5 to 7 by late this afternoon. 5 to 8 earlier this morning for the north, and now we're starting to see that swell actually decline already. 3 to 6 by this late afternoon with west-facing shores 1 to 3. Lindsay, over to you.
All right, Tasia, thank you. A scary polio-like illness called acute flaccid myelitis, or AFM, is affecting children, with cases increasing every 2 years, according to new information released by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Mandy Gaither now has more.
KITV4 Island News Medical Minute, sponsored by Ekahi Wellness.
Today, the tragedy of paralytic polio can be prevented.
This public service announcement from the 1950s helped make people aware of polio, which once plagued the world. While polio still exists today, cases have decreased by more than 99% since 1988, according to the World Health Organization. Now, a polio-type illness has left a number of children paralyzed and has been peaking every other year since 2014. If the pattern holds, 2020 could be another peak year. Doctors say most of the patients with AFM had a mild respiratory illness or fever consistent with a viral infection before they developed AFM. Viral infections, such as from enteroviruses, are common, especially in children, and most people recover. The CDC isn't yet sure why a small number of people develop AFM while most others recover. But researchers say the differences offer clues to different causes behind AFM, which they hope will lead to new treatment and prevention strategies. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
According to the CDC, there were 237 cases of AFM in 2018, and in comparison, there were 33 cases in 2019. Peak year cases were also more likely to affect the upper extremities and come after a fever or respiratory illness. 90% of AFM cases have happened in children and occurred in 48 states and in D.C. Still to come on KITV4, a steering wheel saves a driver from serious injury, and a West Coast Zoo welcomes its first baby gorilla in 2 decades. Those stories still ahead on KITV4. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Jerry Griffin, the owner of Discount Windows and Doors. Welcome to our showroom.
Come in for this month's special. Save 40% on Mackay Windows and Doors. This month only, and only from Discount Windows and Doors.
You've heard about our self-cleaning windows, especially designed for Hawaii. All of our quality products are offered at the very best prices. We even offer a price match guarantee. Discount Windows and Doors has been in business for more than 10 years with thousands of satisfied customers. Come and visit our Kaneohe showroom today.
This is the kind of card that has America talking. With it, people with Medicare are getting all-in-one coverage for their doctor visits, hospital care, prescription drugs, and more. This kind of insurance, called Medicare Part C, may also cover dental care, eyeglasses, hearing aids, fitness programs, vitamins, even healthy meals and rides to the doctor. With this kind of coverage, you do not need a Medicare supplement insurance plan. You will access your benefits through your Medicare Part C plan for one low and oftentimes $0 monthly plan premium. You deserve to get the most from your Medicare benefits. Call now for free information that may help you get more coverage for less money. There is no obligation to enroll, whether for yourself or someone you love. Call the number on the screen now. Call now.
Living with diabetes can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Discover an innovative way to better manage your diabetes with Ekahi Wellness. We focus on lifestyle improvements in your nutrition, emotional well-being, exercise, and your medical management, all under one roof. Our team of passionate professionals partner with you and your doctor so you can live with more energy, increase time for work and family, and take control of your diabetes. Your first consultation is at no cost to you, so call us today.
KITV4 Island News Medical Minute, sponsored by Ekahi Wellness.
This is KITV4 Island News Midday.
Welcome back. On the Garden Isle, police opened a second-degree murder investigation after a man was found dead along Kuhio Highway last week. The medical examiner identified him as 57-year-old Paul Christie, and autopsy results show he died from injuries consistent with murder. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. On Oahu, the city is looking for a management group to run the Haiku Stairs. The Board of Water Supply currently manages that area, also known as Stairway to Heaven, and last month proposed tearing it down. A vote and a final decision is expected in May, but in the meantime, the city is trying to come up with an alternate plan. Honolulu Mayor Kirk Caldwell issued a statement on that, saying, quote, Haiku Stairs is a significant asset to the people of Oahu, and it should be better managed with a safe and controlled entry point that doesn't intrude on the surrounding neighborhood, end quote. The group Friends of the Haiku Stairs tell KITV4 it's submitting a plan to the city later this month. And a bill to permit edible cannabis products moves forward. The Senate Committee on Commerce, Consumer Protection, and Health approved the bill yesterday. Senate Bill 2024 would authorize licensed dispensaries to sell edible cannabis products, but would require features such as child-resistant packaging and proper labeling. The measure now goes to the Senate Judiciary Committee for further consideration. Hundreds of kupuna had a chance to show off their moves at the Neil Blaisdell Center. It's part of the 51st Annual Senior Citizens Valentine's Day Dance, hosted by the Department of Parks and Rec. The Royal Hawaiian Band performed music from different decades.
They get to come out of their homes, get together, see seniors from across the island. You have seniors here all the way from Waianae out to Hawaii Kai and around the North Shore. So this might be their one shot this year to get together with all their friends.
And the dance was free to the public, and local celebrities danced with kupuna, including one who was celebrating her 100th birthday this year. So happy birthday to her. And we'll go back outside now with weather. Tasia Worley's back in with a look at today's surf forecast. Tasia, how's it shaping up?
Pretty beautiful skies. We did have a brown water advisory that has just been expired for Oahu. So as you can see for today, partly cloudy skies just for our Mauka spots. Trade winds are here. Breezy conditions later on tonight, building up even more so throughout the remaining of the week. So that means morning and evening time, we're going to expect to see just a bit of showers for your windward and Mauka spots. Here's a look at our forecast with our rainfall. We still have some instability, especially around Hawaii Island. Around tomorrow morning, windward sides, especially for Hawaii and our Kauai County, we'll see some isolated showers, and then we are going to see some clear conditions into the rest of the week. As you can see with our surf forecast for today, east-facing shores will see the biggest incline, 5 to 7 this afternoon. North shores, that north and west-facing swell will start to go down, and then we are expecting another moderate northwest swell over the weekend. Here's a look at the extended forecast. Sunny conditions are starting to fill in with some isolated showers later tonight, all because of that trade wind pattern. But taking a look at our Valentine's Day for Aloha Friday, sunny skies and breezy conditions over the weekend. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll be right back.
Services my kailoa. Imoa, I hop into and from your heart. Are big on discount services for sure. Hai nai mai kapuana ea. Kauai kaholo in the cab. We take you to and from the airport with big discount. Go dial 4222222.
Are you still paying the high utility rates from the electric company? Haleakala Solar and Roofing is celebrating 40 years on the islands by making it easier than ever for you to go solar and get a new roof. PV solar systems financed with zero down starting as low as $85 per month. Get a new roof for as low as $79 per month. Solar hot water systems as low as $100 per month. Or take advantage of zero down 24 months, same as cash financing. Get the ultimate peace of mind with the island's most experienced roofing and solar team. And make this the year you protect yourself from future utility rate increases.
Now with Haleakala Solar, we run our air conditioning 24/7. All the windows are sealed and closed. The house is insulated. And so it's a dream come true.
Operators are standing by. Just call 808-731-1403. 808-731-1403. That's 808-731-1403.
Whether you're a professional or a weekend warrior, you are only as good as your clubs. Come visit us at Pro-Am Golf. Check out our new PXG fitting suite that will match you up perfectly with the right set of clubs, not to mention personal instructors to help perfect your technique. We are the largest locally owned dealer of golf equipment in Hawaii. With competitive pricing, selection, and Hawaii's only repair shop open 7 days a week, we are sure you won't want to go anywhere else than Pro-Am Golf.
This is KITV4 Island News Midday.
Welcome back. An accident on a Michigan roadway could have ended much worse than it did.
This came when blind luck helped a driver escape serious injuries by mere inches.
And Jeremy Roth now has more.
A Michigan truck driver is lucky to be alive, and it's all thanks to a steering wheel. Johnny Lowe was driving a box truck on a Lansing area highway. He says a steel beam came loose from a flatbed truck and headed straight toward him.
Then I just braced myself and went like that, and then
it smashed through the windshield and into the steering wheel just inches from Lowe's chest.
It was like being in the middle of an explosion of glass.
Amazingly, Lowe was uninjured in the extreme close call. He says the driver of the flatbed did not stop, and he's urging anyone with info to call police. In the meantime, he's counting his blessings.
Now I'm one lucky man. Well, I feel like I need to go play the lottery. Definitely.
It's a girl! Los Angeles Zoo recently welcomed its first baby gorilla in over 2 decades. The infant was born in January and has been clinging to mother Ingia since. The mother will carry the infant until it's strong enough to hang on her back. So far, the baby has not been named. Western lowland gorillas are considered a critically endangered species. Zoo officials call the birth historic and a step forward in the species conservation. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Like a mama, like baby. All right, we'll go back outside now with a quick look at the ETA.
That's right. Here's a look at the extended forecast. We've got east-southeasterly winds today, about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Later tonight, we're going to see our easterly winds fill in and give us very breezy conditions. It's only going to build up throughout the remaining of the weekend. And then for Valentine's Day, beautiful conditions for any outdoor activities or even any brunch, lunch, dinner, beautiful sunny skies, and those trades 10 to 20 miles per hour. And our temperatures are warming up now, thank goodness. Ooh. We've got temperatures in the lower 80s, and then later tonight, still in the lower 60s, but we'll start to see that incline just a bit. Over the weekend, sunny and breezy with an enhance of windward and Mauka showers, typical with that trade wind pattern. So that means the east side is going to go up, but also quite choppy. This afternoon, 5 to 7 for the east, North Shores 3 to 6, and we'll see a building moderate northwesterly swell this weekend. We've got low tide we're approaching at the moment, -0.2, and then for our south-facing shores, 1 to 3. Here's a look at our forecast with our rainfall. We're going to get a break from all of that rain that we've been getting. Just again, windward and Mauka areas will see those showers. And here's a look at our forecast with our winds, those trade winds. Once again, we're starting to build up over the weekend, breezy conditions up to 25 miles per hour. So in the meantime, take some time to actually tie down any loose objects around your yard. Here's a look at that Wednesday forecast. Once again, partly cloudy today, and then breezy conditions moving on in later on with lots of sunshine, what we are expecting.
All right, looking good for outside and looking good for V-Day as well, Tasia. Thank you. And we should mention the waves over in Portugal, the story we brought to you at the top of the hour. Well, the wave size, 78 feet. So Waves are intense there and looking a little better here. In the meantime, have a great day. We'll see you right back here at 5 p.m. Have a great day.
Aloha.
Experience the bold, crispy, mouth-watering flavors Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen is serving up in each and every bite, providing closed captioning for KITV4 Island News.
Only Bougainville Flooring Superstore gives you a price match guarantee with Hawaii's largest in-stock inventory and over 1,000 carpet remnants. Name brands at huge savings. Bougainville Flooring Superstore.
Cast your vote for KITV4's first annual Best of Hawaii 2020 Viewers' Choice Award. And who knows, your vote could send you to Vegas, courtesy of Vacations Hawaii.
Bougainville Flooring Superstore is Hawaii's largest flooring store. Laminate flooring, ceramic tile, carpets, and carpet remnants. Over 500,000 square feet of flooring in stock. Bougainville Flooring Superstore.
Diana Coe, weekends only on KITV4 Island News.
Justice with Judge Maybelline will be life because in everything we do, it involves the law. You came to court to testify about what you heard, what you saw, and what you know.
She's fair.
I don't have a hearing problem. This ear works good. This one works even better.
She's firm.
I'm not responsible for that ticket, and I'm not going to pay for it.
Who says you're not going to pay for it? I make that decision, not you.
She's honest.
What you have to say?
All I have to
Nothing.
say. This is Justice with Judge Maybelline. Joan Bennett is suing Betsy McDonald in the amount of $500. Ms. Bennett claims her son was bitten by another student at the defendant's daycare, causing him to contract a bad staph infection.
The matter of Joan Bennett versus Betsy McDonald, you're suing her for $500 because your child was bit, and there was $500 was the medical expenses, or at least your deductible. What happened?
Under her care in her daycare facility, my child was bit by another student, and that resulted in a staph infection that took 2 hospital visits and 2 doses of antibiotics to clear up.
How old is your child?
He is 3 years old.
And this occurred at school?
Yes.
Do you know the circumstances under which it occurred?
According to the defendant and the defendant witness, this occurred at recess while they were playing with a ball. There was an incident that resulted in another kid biting him.
Okay, were you notified?
Yes, I was called by the daycare center as soon as it happened, and I went up there to check on him during my lunch break.
And what did you observe?
When I got there, he was in the nurse's office, and she showed me the wound. They had cleaned it and put a Band-Aid on it, and that was about it.
They had put some antibiotic on it in the brief that I got?
Yes.
Okay. And then you took him to the doctor?
Not immediately. That night we went home. I cleaned the wound again, put a fresh Band-Aid on it, went to bed. The middle of the night, he woke up. He had a fever. He was crying. That's when I took him to the hospital, and the doctor said the wound had gotten infected and it was a staph infection.
And how long did it last?
It lasted for a little over a week. They gave us a round of antibiotics the first night, and after a couple of days, there was no improvement. It seemed to have gotten worse. We went back, and they had to give a stronger dose of antibiotics, but it got a little rough, but after a couple of days, it finally started to clear up.
So basically the same treatment, cleaning it, and antibiotics?
Yes.
As the school had done?
Yes.
Is that correct? How old was the child that bit him, do you know?
I do not know the age of the child.
Okay, so I'm going to talk to Ms. McDonald?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are the principal, the owner?
I'm the owner of Fresh Beginnings Daycare Center and Preschool.
All right, and were you present during this occurrence?
I was on the grounds, but I was not on the playground at the time. My teacher, the child's teacher, Mrs. Green, was in attendance, as well as her teacher's assistant, and 2 other teachers who were also on the recess duty.
And Mrs. Green, this is Mrs. Green?
Yes, ma'am. This is one of his our teachers here at Fresh Beginnings.
Okay, so let me hear from her then, since she's more aware of what occurred. So tell me what occurred.
Okay, so the kids had recess, and it was me and Mrs. Smith. They were playing with the ball. Tyler just little boy, Jeremy, was playing with the ball, and he brought it up to Tyler, and Tyler slapped it out of his hands.
So your son's name is Tyler?
Yes.
And Jeremy is the other young boy?
Yes.
How old was he?
3 as well.
So they're playing ball. Jeremy brought the ball to Tyler. Tyler slapped it out of his hand.
And I walked over and I told Tyler, that's not how you play. And I told Tyler to apologize to Jeremy, and he did. And he picked up the ball, and while he was handing the ball over back to Jeremy, you know, bit him in the arm.
Oh, so Jeremy's a little biter, huh? So did you call Jeremy's parents and tell them about the situation?
Yes, I did.
And was there any punishment on the part of Jeremy?
Yes, there was. What I did after he bit him, I walked over to Jeremy and I made him apologize to Tyler. When I saw Tyler was in pain, the way he was looking like, I had Mrs. Smith take him to the nurse immediately. And then I called Jeremy's parents to let them know the incident that had taken place.
And you called, and someone calls Tyler's parents. Who called Tyler's parents?
Our staff secretary called Tyler's parents to let them know that there's an incident that occurred, and we also called Jeremy's parents to let them know there's an incident that occurred.
All right.
That's part of our protocol there.
And then the nurse treated him.
Yes, I have a registered nurse on duty all times at our preschool. We're the only preschool in our area that has a full-time registered nurse. So
Wow,
we
that's
were there.
unusual.
Yes, ma'am. We pride ourselves on the quality of care. We love those children, and so we were right there right away. As soon as the incident happened, she was there on site. She pulled them apart. She reprimanded them.
Now you weren't there, so you don't know all that. Now she
I
told
can only
me.
go by the report that she gave me. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but I don't need you to repeat what
Yes.
she just told me.
Yes.
Does the school have insurance?
Yes, we do. It's required.
And did you give it to Mrs. Bennett?
I absolutely did. At her request, I offered her the forms. I gave them to her and said, please file a claim. And the insurance company said that we were not at fault and they would not cash her claim. And here's a copy of that letter.
So the insurance company denied the claim?
Yes, ma'am.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Maybelline.
Didn't they ask you that question on the form? How did this incident occur? Where did it occur? Did the third party have insurance? Da-da-da-da-da. That's why they asked you all those questions, because they're trying to pass the buck.
And later.
So a wave all of a sudden came up, crashed, knocked me over, pushing me into her. We get pulled into this little tide pool, and my phone is gone into the water, into the tide pool.
Justice with Judge Maybelline. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878.
Quirky finds to uncover, style tips to discover, videos in my social feed, useful reviews to read, fashion trends to explore, so much to adore, and sweet low prices too. Shop Zulily today.
Best Fiends. It's more than a game. Collect tons of cute characters. Solve thousands of fiendishly fun puzzles. Download Best Fiends for free today. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends.
It's hard to get all the daily fiber we need from food alone. That's why I love Fiber Choice. With the fiber found in many fruits and vegetables. Fiber Choice, #1 gastroenterologist recommended chewable fiber. Find it in the digestive aisle.
As a struggling actor, I need all the breaks that I can get. At Liberty Mutual.
Cut.
Line.
Cut. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Cut. Liberty. Am I allowed to riff? What if I come out of the water? Liberty Bibbity.
Cut. We'll dub it.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Skin Sin #17. Too many after parties. New Neutrogena Bright Boost with dullness-fighting neoglucosamine. Boost cell turnover by 10 times for instantly brighter skin. Bright Boost, Neutrogena.
To be honest, a little dust, it never bothered me. Until I found out what it actually was.
Dust mite droppings? Ew. Dead skin cells?
Gross. So now I grab my Swiffer Sweeper and heavy duty dusters. Duster extends to 3 feet to get all that gross stuff.
Gotcha.
And for that nasty dust on my floors, my sweeper's on it. The textured cloths grab and hold dirt and hair no matter where dust bunnies hide. No more heebie-jeebies. Glad I stopped cleaning and started Swiffering.
Before choosing someone to help you get Social Security disability benefits, ask if your attorney is in Hawaii. Mainland attorneys often just fly in on the day of your disability hearing. Aloha, I'm Danielle Beaver. People across Hawaii call me when they need disability income. I'm here in Honolulu, and Social Security disability is all I do.
808-537-9181. There's no fee unless you win. Attorney Danielle Beaver.
You're watching Justice with Judge Maybelline. We're back with the case of Joan Bennett, who is suing Betsy McDonald for medical expenses.
So the insurance company denied the claim, and you now are bringing the lawsuit against her, and really your insurance attorneys, the attorneys for your insurance company should be representing you in this case whenever you're sued and you have insurance. You should not represent yourself. You should always have attorneys from the insurance company to represent you in such lawsuits.
I agree, and that's why I asked my attorney, and he said, well, you know what, you have a waiver here that she signed that precludes you for all this.
Let me see that waiver.
Which is part of our staff and policy here.
Now, is this $500 your deductible?
Yes.
The part you had to pay from your medical insurance?
Yes, this is my deductible.
Okay. Now, when you took your son to the hospital asked you, how did the injury occur?
Yes.
Right? And you told them at school, etc., right?
Yes.
Now, insurance companies then decide if the injury occurred by a third party, then they usually figure out who the third party was and what the circumstances are, and they will contact the third party's insurance company. Trust me, because they don't want to pay either. If your insurance company paid for the incident that occurred on the school campus, and only requiring you to pay the deductible, but they paid for the medical care, they have accepted the liability and said, your child is not their fault. And so they've given you the medical treatment.
But I disagree. I do believe they're at fault because when I came
But you can disagree all you want. But that's the way this works. You understand?
Yes.
She had insurance. Her insurance is to cover her for liability. Medical providers, your insurance company, when there's a third-party claim, that's why they asked you, didn't they ask you that question on the form? How did this incident occur? Where did it occur? Did the third party have insurance? Da-da-da-da-da. That's why they asked you all those questions, because they're trying to pass the buck. Everybody wants to pass the buck. So once they did that, trust me, they contacted her insurance company. Trust me, they investigated, and they decided they're not at fault. We're going to pay this claim. Otherwise, your insurance carrier would not have paid. That's the way those evaluations go. Now, of course, you can bring it into court for a different evaluation and see if the judge believes that they're at fault. And right now, I quite agree that I don't see any negligence on the part of the school. The school cannot be responsible for children who do something that's wrong to another child unless they allow it, they promote it, or they do nothing about it once it's done. That's when you hold them liable. Why do you think the school was wrong?
Because when I came to them with this claim, their excuse was that, well, your child instigated it and he's been an issue, but since he was in their care, I never got word or a complaint that he was an issue or that there was a problem. And if there was and they had come to me, we could have come with a plan of action, because kids don't just start biting. There are things that lead up to that, and I feel like that is where they were negligent, because we could have prevented this incident from ever occurring if the proper communication had happened.
How many children you have?
This is my only child.
Oh, okay. Children do just do that. Sometimes kids come to school and they have their own issues from home or somewhere else. Sometimes kids have another issue with another child that they haven't expressed it or said anything to anyone about, but all of a sudden they'll just lash out. There are psychological problems for the reason children lash out. There are all kind of reasons why a child may lash out and do something totally out of, quote, character that has never been done before. You don't know why. You understand?
Yes.
Now, so when she's saying she didn't tell you before, that's what I read in the brief, is that they handled all the little incidents that happened. And that's what they're supposed to do. You don't want them calling you every time something happens between two kids on the school campus. Trust me, you don't. Because this goes on and on and on. And one of the things a good administrator and a good teacher knows how to do is to put it in check. Because if you keep getting the parents involved, it's just going to fester and get bigger and bigger and bigger. You have to teach children how to resolve conflict among themselves. That's the best lesson to learn. So it's better to try to get it resolved among the children and to teach them conflict resolution.
Yes, ma'am.
But that's another reason. And then you signed a waiver. Let me read what it says. But now you know under the law, you can't sign away a waiver of behavior that is really covered. You can sign all the waivers you want, but if it's something that's criminal or it's something that should not be, this waiver doesn't amount to a hill of beans.
Absolutely, I
But in this
understand
particular situation, I'm not going on the waiver. I'm going on the fact that I don't believe, and the court does not believe that the school was negligent in any manner or had any responsibility for this child's conduct, and they acted prudently in correcting the situation, in providing the antibiotics and the nurse's care, and in contacting you immediately so that you could seek the necessary medical care. So therefore, judgment for the defendant, the plaintiff's claim is denied.
Judge Maybelline has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
I'm so sorry that your child was hurt. It was an unfortunate incident.
My child was hurt under your care, and I still hold you responsible.
Coming up.
Me and him made a connection, though, and so I went home with him, and I think she's just...
A strange guy in Vegas?
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Justice with Judge Maybelline.
I've liked getting to know each other.
Getting to know each other was good.
Rated PG-13.
You might like that Atkins frozen meals help you cut your carbs while enjoying the foods you love. But what you'll probably like best is that they taste every bit as good as they look. This is today's Atkins.
InSolid has been in business in Hawaii for 20 years. It specializes in fabricating solid surfaces, especially showers, ideal for bathrooms that can change as we age. InSolid has custom models for exact fits for any space. InSolid products are non-porous and seamless. This means no grout and no place for mold or mildew to grow. Contact us today for a free estimate at 808-676-5522. 808-676-5522.
Hi, I'm Dr. Stephen Rhee of the Hawaiian Eye Center. I enjoy working with my patients to make a real difference in their lives.
My eyes before kind of blurry. Dr. Rhee fixed my eyes. I can read good, I feel good, and I see them bright. Thank you so much. Thank you to Dr. Rhee.
At Hawaiian Eye Center, we help our patients see better with personalized quality care. Come see us at Hawaiian Eye Center.
I'm truly amazed at the effect that it has on people.
Thank you,
Does cleansing drain the life out of your skin? New Garnier Micellar Water Rose with rose water and micelles that work like a magnet to gently cleanse and remove makeup, and now even hydrate skin. It's cleansing reinvented. New Water Rose by Garnier, naturally.
Remember when we did one thing and then we finished and then moved on to another thing?
She's just in love with
Then life got really, really fast. We stream, email, pay bills, book flights, buy stuff, email again, entertain ourselves, talk, listen, search for... baby goats. OMG, I need a nap. It's just the way it works now. And it works thanks to Spectrum's unrivaled network, powering hundreds of millions of connections every day.
Oh, it's adorable.
Spectrum. Think forward.
It was Anna. She's covering for Peter.
This week.
Why can't you just leave it alone?
Because I can't. Rivalries heat up.
Valentine wants you back. I'm moving on.
And they'll draw blood.
Valentine, what do you want?
Just this. ABC's General Hospital.
You're watching Justice with Judge Maybelline. Darla Sutton is suing Lauren Fisher in the amount of $1,200. Ms. Sutton claims Ms. Fisher coerced her into taking a photo on the beach and says a wave washed her cell phone away.
Darla Sutton versus Lauren Fisher. You're suing her for $1,200, the cost of a cell phone that was lost somewhere in the ocean.
That is correct,
right?
Your Honor.
What happened?
Well, it all started, we've been best friends throughout college. We just graduated. I got a job in a different city, San Francisco. So I was like, hey, why don't we take this road trip together? And so we started our road trip, made a few stops along the way, and this is where I think that she broke my phone on purpose. Because when we were in Vegas, she was all over this guy who clearly wasn't interested in her, and she even has a boyfriend back in Denver. And me and him made a connection, though, and so I went home with him, and I think she's just...
A strange guy in Vegas?
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But anyway, so I think she was just upset about that, even though she has a boyfriend. So
if she was all over the man, and she's your friend, and she was showing an interest in the man...
Well, he wasn't interested in her.
And the man wasn't interested in her. Why would you, as her friend,
well, we had
go
a
out with
connection.
him?
Me and the guy had a connection, and she has a boyfriend. Me and my boyfriend just broke up. She knew I was single and ready to mingle, and me and him clearly had a connection.
Oh.
So after that, she was kind of bitter, and we continue on to San Francisco. I suggest that we go to Half Moon Bay. So we get to Half Moon Bay, and again, she's like, oh, let's take pictures. She put her purse off on the shore more. Didn't want to use her phone, I guess, so she wants me to go pose by the water, by the breakwater.
Coming up.
It was $1,200.
For an act of nature, she's supposed to pay for it.
I mean, she is the one that took my phone, and why couldn't we use her phone for the picture?
Closed captioning provided by...
Yeah, I love the holidays. While most folks are spending all of their money, I'm raking it in on my Christmas tree farm hand over fist. But my tree sales take a nosedive after December, so it's a good thing Safe Auto understands that my insurance needs are month to month. Not to worry, though. Behold, the Valentine tree, the Independence tree, and a truly no-brainer, the Arbor Day tree. I'm gonna be rich.
These are real people, not actors, who've got their eczema under control. With less eczema, you can show more skin. So roll up those sleeves and help heal your skin from within with Dupixent. Dupixent is the first treatment of its kind that continuously treats moderate to severe eczema, or atopic dermatitis, even between flare-ups. Dupixent is a biologic and not a cream or steroid. Many people taking Dupixent saw clear or almost clear skin and had significantly less itch. That's a difference you can feel. Don't use if you're allergic to Dupixent. Serious allergic reactions can occur, including anaphylaxis, which is severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, or a parasitic infection. If you take asthma medicines, don't change or stop them without talking to your doctor. So help heal your skin from within. And talk to your eczema specialist about Dupixent.
I didn't have to shout out for help.
Because you didn't have another DVT. Not today. One blood clot put you at risk of having another. So we chose Xarelto to help keep you protected.
Xarelto is proven to treat and reduce the risk of DVT or PE blood clots from happening again. Almost 98% of people did not have another DVT or PE. Don't stop taking Xarelto without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of blood clots. While taking, a spinal injection increases the risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. You may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. Xarelto can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. It may increase your risk of bleeding if you take certain medicines. Get help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising. Do not take Xarelto if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. Before starting, tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures and any kidney or liver problems. Help protect yourself from another DVT or PE. Ask your doctor about Xarelto. To learn more about cost and how Janssen can help, visit Xarelto.com.
It's here. Instant funding online from SpeedyCash.com. Don't have time to stop by a Speedy Cash store? Get cash now, no matter where you are. Apply for a loan using the Speedy Cash app. If approved, funds apply to your debit card in minutes. with instant funding from SpeedyCash.com. Apply now. It's fast. Go to SpeedyCash.com for instant funding today.
You're watching Justice with Judge Maybelline. We're back with the case of Darla Sutton, who is suing Lauren Fisher for property loss.
Went out to the rock to take the picture. What happened?
So a wave all of a sudden came up, crashed, knocked me over, pushing me into her. We get pulled into this little tide pool, and my phone is gone into the water, into the tide pool, lost in some
both
rocks.
of you are gone into the water and
Both
into
of
the
us are
tide
gone
pool.
into the
So
water.
it's not just your phone, it's all your bodies too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now she's supposed to pay for it.
It was $1,200.
For an act of nature, she's supposed to pay for it.
I mean, she is the one that took my phone, and why couldn't we use her phone for the picture?
I don't know. Obviously, you agreed to use the phone. She's taking your picture.
I mean, she coerced me, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah, she coerced you. That's right. I keep forgetting. The coercion.
Your Honor, I also twisted my ankle when that wave came through. I hurt myself. It was entirely an accident.
I may have agreed to take the picture, but I didn't agree for my phone to get dropped in the ocean.
And she didn't agree to drop your phone in the ocean either.
Again, I think she dropped it on purpose because of the guy in Vegas. I mean, it's not like we were like brought right into like the deep parts of the ocean.
Excuse me, Miss Sutton. By your own words, I believe she dropped it on purpose because of the guy in Vegas. A wave came suddenly, a big wave, pushed me out into her. So she's not even on the rock where you are. The wave gets all the way over there to her after it pushes you into her, and she happens to be holding your phone. That sounds like an act of nature.
The wave was an act of nature, Your Honor.
Okay.
But
it's because she's mad at you because of the cell phone. So is the wave mad at you because of the boyfriend too?
I mean, she put me out by the wave.
Oh, God.
Judge Maybelline's verdict when Justice with Judge Maybelline returns. Promotional consideration provided by
COPD makes it hard to breathe. So to breathe better, I started Once Daily Anoro. COPD tries to say go this way. I say I'll go my own way with Anoro.
Once Daily Anoro contains 2 medicines called bronchodilators that work together to significantly improve lung function all day and all night. Do not use Anoro if you have asthma. Anoro won't replace rescue inhalers for sudden symptoms and should not be used more than once a day. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition, high blood pressure, glaucoma, prostate, bladder, or urinary problems. These may worsen with Anoro. Call your doctor if you have worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain while taking Anoro. The most common side effects are sore throat, diarrhea, and pain in the arms and legs.
Ask your doctor about Once Daily Anoro to start treating your COPD.
Go your own way. Save at Anoro.com.
You're watching Justice with Judge Maybelline.
I'm not going to waste any more time on this. This is pure foolishness. Pure foolishness. You are an intelligent woman, and by your own words, a wave came suddenly, unexpectedly. A tide pushed me into her, fell. What is that called? You know the word for that, the synonym?
An accident?
Oh, you do know that.
But, Your Honor, I mean...
Accident. What does accident mean?
It didn't happen
College
on
graduate.
purpose. However...
What does the word accident mean?
It wasn't on purpose.
I am not going to make this woman pay for your phone. I'm not going to make you pay for her ankle. Because again, it was an act of God, an act of nature. So she has to use her health insurance to pay for her ankle. But you are concerned about a phone and not have no consideration.
I mean, I had to use my credit card to get a new phone, and now I'm in debt.
If you don't get out of my courtroom, I'm going to try to, I may have to call your college and ask them to rescind that degree. Because you're not sounding too intelligent. I want you to go back, replay this conversation in your mind, and listen to it. You know you're being foolish. Absolute absurdity. Absurdity. Judgment for the defendant.
Judge Maybelline has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
Well, like the judge said, it was an accident and you should have had insurance.
I regret even inviting you on the road trip.
This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.
Why is Ala Moana Hotel by Mantra a Kama'aina's favorite place to stay on Oahu? It's centrally located next to Ala Moana Center, across the street from fantastic Ala Moana Beach Park, featuring a variety of water activities. Walking distance to the Hawaii Convention Center. Stay over for the nightlife of Waikiki or a concert event. It's a getaway for two or a staycation for the family. De-stress and travel less. Where locals stay to play, day or